Crossing over the next plateau.
Yeah, yeah. Would you say you lost your mind, sort of?
No.
Oprah coming next. Once I establish this as a place of truth, oh yeah. Watch. God's people ain't that few.
Now seize the opportunity, and that's why this is such a victory. Tomorrow, you will hear me doing the dance because
For decades, Oprah Winfrey stood like royalty in the world of media. The voice people trusted, the woman whose stamp of approval could turn unknown authors into millionaires overnight. But lately, that unshakable image is being tested like never before. A new wave of comedians and public voices are pulling back the curtain on what they call the real Oprah, a side of her that's more about control, influence, and image management than the wholesome inspiration she's built her empire on. This isn't coming from gossip blogs or old enemies. These are respected entertainers who once admired her, but now question the motives behind her power moves. What really sparked it all was the shift in tone across Hollywood. People started speaking freely again. Social media broke the old silence, and suddenly comedians who used to walk on eggshells around Oprah's name began cracking jokes that hit a little too close to home. Clips resurfaced from interviews, comedy specials, and even podcasts where some said Oprah's kindness on camera didn't always match the energy off camera. These weren't wild insults. They were observations that made fans pause. How could someone who built a career on honesty and empathy be accused of manipulation and image spinning?
I don't understand this person, so they're crazy. That's bullshit. These people are not crazy. They're strong people.
Oprah said that if Trump wins, you may never be able to vote again. That is
it's just so
the
ridiculous.
craziest thing when you go back and watch him on her show, where she was encouraging him to be president. You ever seen
Oprah is obviously a saintly, godlike figure who's revered by all decent people. Why would she exclude you?
I really don't know.
Crossing over the next plateau.
yeah, yeah. Would you say you lost your mind, sort of?
No.
It wasn't just one moment either. The stories stretched back years, from the way Oprah handled celebrity interviews that turned sour, to how she distanced herself from certain controversial guests after they stopped fitting her brand. Many fans still remember the moment she questioned Michael Jackson's innocence on national TV and later pulled back support after the public turned. Others point to her involvement in projects tied to documentaries about misconduct in Hollywood, projects that some felt were selective in who they exposed. The criticism wasn't about her success, it was about her selective morality. That double standard started bothering people who felt she wasn't always transparent about her motives. To a new generation online, Oprah's spotless image looks less like truth and more like strategy. Comedians picked up on that energy and turned it into viral commentary. One called her Hollywood's untouchable queen, while another joked, "You can't win a beef with Oprah. She got daytime angels and nighttime lawyers." But the laughter had weight to it, a sense that people were finally comfortable questioning the myth. When a legend's brand is built on honesty, even small cracks can look like huge lies. And once comedians start circling, the crowd starts paying attention.
People were saying, though, that you were on drugs, you lost your mind, you went into a mental institution. What is true, what is not?
Not on drugs.
Not on drugs.
Nah, not for years.
Okay.
No, I'm not on drugs.
And you weren't on drugs at the time?
No, not at all. Not
Okay.
at all. I'm telling you, I was incredibly stressed out. Love is like a nutrient. And I was deficient on vitamin love.
Really? Were you really?
I'm all over, baby. Oh, snap.
No, really, what was going on?
When stand-up comedians start talking, the truth usually hides between the punchlines. For years, most entertainers avoided taking shots at Oprah, not out of respect, but out of fear. Her connections stretched deep into every corner of the industry: networks, publishers, producers, even politicians. But times changed, and that old Hollywood loyalty faded. What used to be whispered in green rooms started spilling into interviews, podcasts, and comedy specials. Big names like Cat Williams, Monique, and others began telling stories that painted Oprah in a very different light. Monique's fallout with Oprah became the first real crack in that public wall. The Oscar-winning actress said she felt betrayed after Oprah publicly discussed personal family trauma on national television without her consent. That moment went viral because Monique didn't hold back. She said Oprah sold empathy for ratings. Whether people agreed or not, it set off a chain reaction. Other entertainers began sharing their own uneasy run-ins. Some said Oprah could lift your career overnight or make sure it never rose again. That kind of talk turned her from a symbol of empowerment into a symbol of control for some folks.
To do this in my business, I'm up here doing something that nobody else in this business has the balls to do. I'm telling you something that you need to know.
Oprah coming next. Once I establish this as a place of truth, oh yeah. Watch. God's people ain't that few.
Then came the comedy wave. Cat Williams dropped sly comments about how certain Hollywood elites use moral talk to hide dirty deals. He never mentioned Oprah directly at first, but everyone connected the dots. Soon, smaller podcasts and urban platforms started putting together clips. Oprah in old interviews, Oprah defending controversial figures, Oprah staying silent when major scandals broke. Each clip looked harmless alone, but together they painted a strange pattern. A woman who only spoke up when it served her brand. That image hit hard because Oprah was supposed to be the voice of truth. Comedians thrive on exposing contradictions, and Oprah's brand had plenty. They joked about how she built an empire telling people to be authentic, while everything around her felt tightly curated. One comedian joked, "You can't even sneeze around Oprah without a publicist writing a press release." Another said, "She built a kingdom off tears, but whose tears were they really?" The crowd laughed, but under that laughter was real discomfort. It wasn't about hating Oprah. It was about finally saying what many had quietly felt for years, that maybe her perfection was too perfect.
Very first time we started our friendship, stayed up that first night and talked all night long. She has always been happier for me and everything that's ever happened to me.
A hero stumbles, for the cowards rejoice.
Oprah's silence has always been her sharpest weapon. When controversies spark around her name, she rarely claps back. She waits it out, confident that her legend will outlast the noise. That strategy worked for years, but the internet era plays by new rules. Online culture doesn't forget, and when clips resurface or jokes trend, even the most powerful have to face the meme machine. Her polished interviews once controlled the narrative, but now the audience controls the playback button. Every move she makes gets analyzed, from her partnerships with billionaires to her involvement in political campaigns. When Oprah supported certain figures accused of wrongdoing, critics said she was picking sides for business reasons. When she later backed away, others said she was trying to save her image. Either way, it made her look calculating. The magic of her talk show era, where she felt real and relatable, began to fade. Younger audiences, raised on authenticity and raw talk, started calling her out as Hollywood polished. They didn't see a mentor. They saw a manager of public emotion.
Own hair. You got a little extra piece right here, though.
I do not.
Whoa! I do not. Whoa!
You have such stressful jobs. How do you unwind to relax at some time?
I think their job is stressful.
I think being the Wonder Bread representative might be stressful. Not compared to a real job. I will not disrespect the people here that work hard.
This isn't a real job.
This ain't no real job.
That's why comedians hit so hard. Comedy doesn't need evidence. It needs rhythm, truth, and timing. The more people laughed, the more the criticism spread. A viral joke travels faster than a press statement, and once it became cool to question Oprah, the gates opened. Some pointed to her past business ties. Others re-examined the way she handled guests who didn't fit her image. Even fans who grew up loving her began asking, was it all branding? Was the compassion real or just good TV? Still, you can't deny Oprah's dominance. She built an empire from nothing, turned pain into power, and changed how TV connects with emotion. But that same power now attracts new age critics who don't buy media saints anymore. In a world that values transparency over polish, even someone as legendary as Oprah has to adapt or face constant scrutiny. The silence that once protected her might soon be the very thing that keeps people doubting her.
Books I've ever read, but Oprah at one point touted it as she did their Oprah book club where it was she'd get these great books, but then it came out that the story wasn't a true autobiography to it. And he got ripped online.
Yeah.
Into a million little pieces.
To say like his account was falsified and and then he had to go like on an apology tour and all this stuff, and it was like, dude, our entertainment is going to be hyperbole.
The internet doesn't let anything slide, and once Oprah became a trending topic for call-outs, the floodgates opened. Old interviews resurfaced showing her questioning certain guests in ways fans now call manipulative. Moments once praised for being bold are being reread as controlling or judgmental. People started saying she used empathy like a tool, knowing exactly when to cry, when to pause, when to hug. In the talk show world, that's genius. But in the world of social media, it can look rehearsed. Celebrities began choosing sides. Some defended her, saying no one's more genuine than Oprah, that her power comes from good intentions and years of hard work. Others stayed quiet, afraid of the backlash. A few brave voices admitted they'd felt the pressure of staying on her good side in Hollywood. It was an open secret that if Oprah didn't rock with you, some doors stayed closed. Fans took that and ran wild online, calling it the Oprah effect, a mix of influence and quiet control that shaped entire careers behind the scenes. Meanwhile, fans of the comedians loved how the jokes sliced through Hollywood's fake smiles. They said it was refreshing to hear truth wrapped in humor, like someone finally saying what everyone was thinking. Even if some claims weren't proven, the overall vibe was clear. People are tired of untouchable celebrities. This shift isn't about hating Oprah, it's about accountability. In a culture where everyone's voice can go viral, even the biggest icons can't escape public questioning anymore.
Make a movie, regardless of who you signed the deal with.
Yes.
Your job is to go and promote said movie. When they wanted you to come, and we've had this conversation, and I said if you had called me, I could have schooled you on what was
Hollywood's mood has changed. It used to worship its legends, now it tests them. And the more Oprah's name trends for controversy, the harder it becomes to protect that untouchable status. The same internet that once crowned her a queen now judges every move. Fame's currency changed. Authenticity sells more than image. And when a comedian's punchline hits harder than a billionaire's speech, it's clear the power balance has shifted.
People throw millions of dollars in my face to do something I didn't want to do. And what? Just, you've been offered, yeah. Oh, they're in the room.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Now the big question is, what happens next? Oprah's brand is still massive, her influence still undeniable, but the conversation around her proves that no one, no matter how powerful, can escape reevaluation in the internet age. Fans don't want flawless heroes anymore. They want truth, even when it's messy. Comedians, in their raw way, have become truth tellers for a generation that doesn't trust corporate media spin. And whether Oprah likes it or not, her story is being rewritten in real time. This scandal isn't about canceling Oprah. It's about challenging the idea that good branding equals moral perfection. The comedian's critiques hit because they expose the gap between how Hollywood sells empathy and how it practices it. They remind viewers that behind every talk show moment is a business plan, and behind every teachable moment is a team making sure it trends right. Oprah mastered that system, but now the system is turning on itself. Authenticity beats PR every time. What's wild is how this new era flips everything. Instead of one person shaping culture from a talk show couch, millions of people do it from their phones. Clips, jokes, and commentary create new narratives that no single network can control. Oprah's influence might not disappear, but it'll never work the same way again. The myth of perfection is cracking across Hollywood, and she's just the biggest example of what happens when a legend meets the age of accountability. No matter how it plays out, one thing's for sure: the spotlight's brighter and harsher than ever. And while comedians laugh their way through these call-outs, the public's watching closer, thinking deeper, and questioning louder. The game changed, and even Oprah can't rewrite those rules. If you want more deep dives into Hollywood's biggest shifts, wild call-outs, and behind-the-scenes truths, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories like this.